Okay, so open up your notebooks to your next clean white available page, and at the top write rethinking initial ideas, because today is going to be about expanding those central ideas. So write that down, rethinking initial ideas, and today's date in the upper right hand corner. So take a moment to do that. We can pause the video. Okay. Sorry, I'm eating a snack, which is probably really poor timing. I'm going to put it away. I don't know what I'm thinking. Anyway, all right. What you see up here are the 3 photographs that we looked at last week. And if you remember, I asked you to think about, hey, what's the central idea of these 3 photos? And you said, well, initially, you jumped right in and you went with your knee-jerk reaction, and it was, oh, it's babies, or oh, it's animals, or oh, it's zoo animals. And then when you really took a careful look at the details, oh, wait a minute. They all are parent animals with caring for, in some way, their young. So the central idea that you came up with for these images was that adult animals take care of their young. So that was a decent central idea. Well, when you read on, though, in this book, you're going to read new material, and you're going to have to change and rethink your central idea. So I'm about to show you a slide that has different pictures on it, and I want you to see how you would expand. And you're going to, again, please do think. Don't just knee-jerk and yell it out or anything like that. Take a moment. Take a careful look at these pictures, and then we're going to have to rethink our central idea. So with your mouth closed, take a moment, about a minute, to look at these next pictures. You can pause the video here so you can take some time to really look at what you're seeing here. Okay, so if you looked at the left, you'd say, hey, that looks like a peacock with a duckling. And if you looked carefully in the middle, and this one you had to really look carefully, you'd see there was a cat and 2 kittens and a baby squirrel. And if you looked at the right picture, you'd see a dog with a baby goat. So if you had to combine that with the previous photos, you would say something like, animals take care of their young, but they can also sometimes take care of the young of other species. And that would be a central idea that would go over all 6 of these photographs. So you see, you have to change what the central idea is as new information is added. So you might remember that last week we came up with our current central idea for fast food nation. And it was something like this, because we had talked about the fast food industry being in all parts of American society. We talked about how McDonald's started this culture of throwing everything away instead of washing plates and things like that. And then we talked about the soda article. So let's see how we can put that all together. The fast food industry, that's weird, part of every part. Anyway, the fast food industry, part of every aspect of American society, contributes to our throwaway culture and aims to get young Americans addicted to soda, which is bad for their health. So now we have a central idea that goes over everything we've read so far in Fast Food Nation. So what we'll do today to practice, well, how do we expand our central idea even more? We're going to read on a little bit more from Fast Food Nation, just 2 short paragraphs this time. So as I'm reading, look for some details that pop out to you that you can share with your reading partner or your shoulder partner after I finish reading. The nation has about 1 million migrant farm workers and about 3.5 million fast food workers. Although picking strawberries is orders of magnitude more difficult than cooking hamburgers, both jobs are now filled by people who are generally young, unskilled, and willing to work long hours for low pay. Moreover, the turnover rates for both jobs are among the highest in the American economy. The annual turnover rate in the fast food industry is now 300 to 400%. And this is what that means. The typical fast food worker quits or is fired every 3 to 4 months. The fast food industry pays the minimum wage to a higher portion of its workers than any other American industry. Consequently, a low minimum wage has long been a crucial part of the fast food industry's business plan. So if you could pause here, and while the video is paused, turn and tell somebody to your left or your right what jumps out at you here as an important detail from these paragraphs. Okay, so you probably shared something about the low minimum wage, the long hours, and that this industry hires more people at a minimum wage than any other industry. And by industry, that means the fast food industry. There's like the entertainment industry, or there's the restaurant industry, or there's the, like the kids who work at the movies, or whatever it is. More people make minimum wage who work at fast food restaurants than any other industry. So now that I know this, now we're bringing in wages. This is the first time wages have come up, and unskilled workers and low wages. So I'm going to need to add that to my central idea, and that's not easy to do. So if you are writing your central idea quickly, like, oh, this is a, chances are you're not writing a good central idea. It takes a lot of thought to get this into one sentence. So what I'm about to show you is, remember the steps that we went through last week, and you could write this in your notebook if you didn't write it last week. Number 1, you list all the important details that have come up so far in your book. 2, you write a central idea that takes into account that new thinking. So, and in the pink on this slide, you'll see my 4 most important details from my reading. Fast food is in every part of American society. McDonald's started the throwaway industry by making their items disposable. The fast food industry makes their profits off of getting young children to drink soda, even though it is bad for them, and young people, long hours, low wages. So now I'm going to expand my central idea, and here it is. The fast food industry, part of every aspect of American society, contributes to wasting resources and profits off of making kids unhealthy, while at the same time taking advantage of young vulnerable workers by giving them long hours and low pay. So that is the challenge for you today. You're going to go back and expand your central idea. You've read on. Some of you will be finishing your books today, those of you with shorter books. Maybe you finished them over the weekend. If you did, great. Then you can write your final central idea for that book today, because you have all of the details that you would need. I just want to remind you the steps. Go through, make sure from the beginning, from the middle, from the end, you've got all of the important information that you need pulled out of the book, listed there, that you can make a central idea that tells everything that really matters to this book within that central idea. This is the difficult work that we're doing. I know it's not easy, but that's what we're going to do today. I have a few other central ideas that I've listed here, because you may pick different important details than the person sitting next to you. You may have a different opinion about what matters most in a book, and that's okay. There's more than one right central idea. As long as you go through the process and you pick out the most important parts, you list those first, and you try to include them all into one sentence. It's really tough to do, but it can definitely be done. I will share this with you in Google Classroom if you want to look at all of my central ideas ideas for your own. You can do that. But what I would do right now in workshop today is I would read on it, do some more reading, get some more details, maybe talk to your group about the details that they think are really important. Ask them what details they think they're going to include in their central idea. Share what you are going to include, because you can't include the whole book, right? You're going to have to pick and choose. It's like you're a you're putting together a museum exhibit about your book, not having somebody read an entire book. So you have to just have a few items that are the most important to your book. So it's a perfectly good idea to sit down and talk today about, hey, what are you going to include in your central idea? So I would do that today. As far as stamping goes, I think at the end of the period you should be able to show a new central idea, given what you read over the weekend, given what you read maybe earlier in class today, and then a central idea. Maybe even we might even put that as an exit slip. I'm not sure. I will talk with Miss Berg and we'll figure that out. But anyway, that's it for today. Best of luck. Okay.